Hello, hello, welcome back. This is Mandy, and I'm going to try to do a bloom on my little 8-inch canvas here. Sorry about my voice. Recovering from COVID, and it's taking a while to get my voice back. So I have taped the back of this guy. I have sprayed it with water to tighten it, give it a nice drum feel. Otherwise, your corners will be all saggy and gross. So believe it or not, I'm still trying to use up paint. My cell activators were extremely old, so I kind of used what was still in the little pots and made a new one, so I'm not sure how it's going to do. So I'm a little iffy on that. But we're just going to go for it. And I made this color using a frosted sorbet primary element that was really very too thick. It was bashful blue once upon a time. I don't know what it is now. I added some cobalt aqua vivid intense to it, made this really beautiful color. I'm pretty sure I had already altered it. So who knows what all is in there, but I don't want to waste it, and it's a nice frosty color. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this Titan light blue, which is a vivid intense color. I had to thin it down a little bit. And I'm going to use a chameleon from, well, they don't call them chameleons, they call them ultra shifts, from Eye Candy, and it's called Daikoku. I don't know if I've used it before or not, but I've had it mixed up a long time. So I'm trying to not use too many similar colors because I want to see how this one shifts, but it's kind of a grayish, bluish color. And then I'm going to use Blue Black from Colourarte, Rouge Violet from Colourarte, hopefully a white cell activator, and the Titan Peach from Colourarte, which was a little thick. So anyway, I really didn't have much of a plan other than I wanted to use up some paint, and I wanted to paint because I haven't been able to paint in a long time. So hopefully I'm not super rusty. I forgot to plug in my dryer. I'm gonna use my hair dryer to blow it out. And I think the paint that I'm using is the leftover Valspar eggshell that I had mixed before I threw out the empty gallon, unless it is PPG Multi-Pro and I just didn't change the label, which is entirely possible. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I am pretty behind with school stuff, so I've been really busy, and then of course we went to Brazil, which was awesome, and then on a ministry trip, and then we came back. But when we came back, we had COVID, and so we had to recover. So anyway, between being behind on schoolwork and, you know, COVID and such, things have been a little crazy. So, but praise the Lord, we are recovering and doing our best to get caught up. And so yeah, so that's why I have not done a lot of new, I've done some new stuff, but most of it I had recorded before we left. So, but I do have a lot of things, a lot of fun ideas. I have some laser projects that I have kind of queued up, ready to try. And I did my first kind of porch leaner sign with the laser. And I took some video highlights just to kind of show it to you guys, because I tried the XTOOL conveyor belt for the first time, which was really cool. And so I will eventually edit that footage and kind of show it to you. But I was really excited because I kind of created it from kind of a general request, but I want to do new ones every so often and do some door hanger signs and fun stuff like that. And I was watching Artists Till Death, and Jeff was showing us when they were doing a Purely Pigments review, that he was using the Purely Pigments in his airbrush, and I have an airbrush, so then I was thinking that would be great to use the Purely Pigments for painting like the layers for the wood signs. So anyway, I have a lot of things I want to test and try, but I don't have a lot of time, so you know, gotta work it out. And then I have a couple things that customers have asked for that I need to do. Anyway, it's been busy. So we're gonna start with this one. And unfortunately, whatever we do today, there will be bubbles because I had to thin down some paints that were too thick, and unfortunately that's going to introduce bubbles, so it is what it is. There will be bubbles. And sometimes you just gotta roll with it, you know what I mean? But anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. And I haven't forgotten that I said I was going to do lives more often, and I still would like to do that. I think I just have to be realistic with what I have on my plate because of school. And right now I'm studying for my comp exams that are coming up in the fall. So that's pretty intense. And my husband and I are taking a biblical Greek class, which has also been pretty intense. And then I've had the privilege of doing some teaching assisting for another class, which has been an honor and also quite a privilege to get to learn along with the students from a wonderful professor that I had when I was working on my master's. And so, you know, things are a little hectic, but it's like hectic in a good way, you know what I mean? And Brazil was amazing. I know some of you have been supportive along the way as I've shared with you that we were going to get to go, and it was truly life-changing, so I'm so happy that we got to do that. Okay, so let's try this one. I don't want to cover this one up too much because I want to see how it shifts, you know what I mean? So we're going to put it there, and then we're going to drizzle some of the peach. I'm really nervous about my white cell activator because I should have just made it from scratch and I didn't. And then Rouge Violet, which we all know my love for red violet, and I think Leslie did an amazing job when she created this color. It is a beautiful color. So that's probably maybe a lot. So anyway, I'm sorry about my sniffling in my voice. I just thought maybe not doing a voiceover for once might be a nice change of pace. Okay, now my cell activator, as usual, is titanium white from Engraving with Australian Floetrol. As usual, there's discount links in the description box below for Colourarte. 10% off using Mandy 1120. And for Aussie Floetrol and Boom Gels and everything else at Pixel Paint Designs, you can save 10% using Mandy 10. I actually need to order some Boom Gel myself. Speaking of. And so yeah, and then there's a bunch of other stuff. There's an eye candy link if you want to try these shifty colors, which are really nice. There's all kinds of stuff down there, so don't forget to check. Okay, so I'm nervous about this. It wasn't mixing super well. Like I said, I'm very nervous, but I'm always nervous to paint after I haven't painted in a while because it usually is very difficult to like jump back in. So gonna be nervous anyway. All right, I got my hair dryer in my hand. I'm ready. I'm actually tempted to blow it out myself. Maybe I should. Maybe I should try it. That's why I shouldn't. Oh crap, sorry, I got my hair in the paint. Too much gel activator, unfortunately, so we may have ruined it by blowing it out ourselves. Of all the times I choose to blow it out with my lungs, it's when I'm recovering from COVID, which is probably the dumbest possible time to do it. I think I did this the last time that I was recovering from COVID too. Unfortunately, I have so much paint right here that I don't think this is going to turn out very well, so let's just start spinning because we may end up having to do it over. I think I used a little bit too much cell activator. The blow wasn't bad other than the fact that there's too much cell activator on here, and so see how it's pooling here? So we're on the right track, but there's too much in the center, which means even if we spin it out properly, it's probably gonna wobble in here. I love the colors though. I like where it's going. I really like the transparency we're getting. But I kind of think before we get too invested, we should probably just go again. So, I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's just do a little bit in the center. I think we probably have enough paint on there otherwise. And while it wasn't the worst blow in the world, I kept having to stop to cough, and I think that did not work in our favor, so maybe I shouldn't do that, but we'll see. All right, so, but I've been working on wanting to use a little bit less paint because I like the transparency you get when you can see like through the various layers, and sometimes I use too much paint and then I don't get that. So this is kind of a good example of like why I would like to do that more, because you could see so much of the different layers of color, and you had this nice transparency with the white kind of peeking through. You know, you don't always necessarily want your white to peek through, but sometimes it's cool when it stretches out underneath your color and you can see the layers of color. Anyway, sometimes it works out. So, all right. We'll do that. I really like that, but it's also going to be very bubbly. So then this is our Ultra Shift color. Okay. And then we're going to do the Titan Peach, which is a beautiful color. And I was a little heavy-handed with this Rouge Violet before, so my dogs are snoring. I don't know if you can hear them. I can't decide if I want to try to blow it out myself or not. Like, part of me wants to because I need to be better at that, but then part of me is like, you're gonna cough, so get serious, you know? Okay, so here we go. Looks like the cell activator was gonna perform okay. I just used way too much of it. That's probably enough, but I'm just gonna give myself a little insurance. Not too much insurance though, because you saw what I just did. I'm nervous. Yikes. Not bad. Woo, lightheaded. Okay. Can't let it sit too long because of all the paint on the surface. Especially because it's pooling in that one area. All right, let's go. All right, making, oh gosh, just got paint all over me. Okay, I need to get that to cover that edge. All right, we're gonna move it this way a little bit to try to cover that edge. You have to spin gently because I don't want it to fly off the corner. Uh-oh. I'm a little nervous about how much is there in the center. I'm hoping it's gonna dry okay. Oh no. Just got house paint in my chameleon color. Let me move that out of the zone. Okay. I still had a little too much cell activator in a couple of areas. So now I really need to get rid of this corner. Eee, not that bad. I don't really want just one corner of negative space. I don't really like that. It's odd. I usually use way too much paint. This time I don't think I used enough on this corner. I really don't want to have to do this again, but I think I'm going to. You guys are probably like, are you serious? And even though that wasn't a terrible blow, I didn't have a nice center. So I think given the whole COVID recovery thing, I think that we'll use the hairdryer this time. Okay, let me get a baby wipe real quick. Or 3. Okay. Man, I spent a lot of time messing around. Okay, let's spin this white out just enough to... I cleaned off my spinner before I started painting, and I had so much paint on there that I had to cut it with a knife to get it off my silicone mat under there. It was quite the ordeal. I don't know why I picked that time when I have very little time to paint to be the one time to clean my spinner, but that's what I did. All right. There's that. Almost used up this color just playing around in here. Imagine all of the paint that has been wasted on this one painting. Well, I haven't wasted a whole bunch. Okay, there's house paint in my this. Okay. Okay. It's kind of a strange combo, I guess. I know some people get bored with blooms, but I don't get bored with them. I feel like you can have so many different color combinations and you can use the bloom technique in so many different ways. So while I'm interested in a lot of things, I don't really get bored with blooms. So if you do, I'm sorry, because I don't really. Okay, but I also do other things, so hopefully you're not bored. My husband says I'm interested in all the things. He said, you don't just do one thing, you're interested in everything, which is probably a little true. But if you knew me before I started doing any of this, I wasn't interested in any of it, so that's something. So to go from not being interested in art at all to being interested in all the things, you know, it's something. All right, so I'm gonna use my hair dryer because, yeah. I think I got a little overconfident. I messed up right here, but I kind of knew I was messing up. I just needed to get the coverage and I didn't quite have enough paint there, so. Yikes. Usually the hairdryer does a better center than I can do. Not always, but all right. This is kind of funky here, but let's go for it. If I can just get the funkiness off the edges, I can live with it being funky on the sides. We mostly did. It's not too bad. Pretty colors. I love this. The kind of the transparency here. I don't love that corner. It was like a really hard line from the previous layer and it was pretty obvious, and so I'd rather have a really weird transparent corner than excuse me, a really hard line like that. So that's why I keep messing with it. Now I can push this over here and it should force a little bit more off, but I also kind of like where it's coming off on the other part, so I don't want to lose too much of that. But I think this one is a winner. Third time's a charm, I guess, huh? There's a ton of bubbles that I will have to pop, but I will bring you down for a close-up. I don't like that this is still here, but to get that all the way off, I would compromise stuff that I do like. So just put that on the bottom and call it good. But I think the colors are really pretty, and we have some nice transparency so you can see the sparkle. So yeah, I will get my gloves off and bring you down for a close-up. And thanks for enduring all the different attempts. Okay, so I still need to clean up these measles and bubbles, but as you can see, I'm probably a little too zoomed in. Nice transparency around the edges, which I really, really like. I like to use a really sparkly pigment on the bottom with some darker paints up toward the top. I think it always creates a really beautiful view, especially after you resin it. Like this part where the blue is in the center will look really beautiful under resin. So anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching and sticking by me even though I've been really busy. And thank you for all of your continued support. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.